One of the most important realizations in behavioral finance is this: many financial decisions are not primarily driven by logic, they are driven by emotion. Because spending is often not just economic activity, it is also stress regulation, emotional reinforcement, identity signaling, comfort seeking, and psychological coping. Human beings naturally seek relief from discomfort, and modern consumption systems are extremely effective at providing short-term emotional reward. This creates a powerful loop. Stress leads to spending, emotional relief, reinforcement, and repeated behavior. And over time, the brain begins associating purchasing with emotional regulation. One of the most misunderstood aspects of emotional spending is this: the strongest dopamine response often occurs before the purchase, not after. Anticipation itself creates emotional stimulation, which means browsing, shopping, planning purchases, and imagining lifestyle upgrades can become emotionally rewarding even without ownership itself. And this is why many modern systems are designed around continuous anticipation loops. Stress significantly changes decision quality. When people are exhausted, overwhelmed, anxious, or emotionally depleted, the brain increasingly prioritizes short-term emotional relief. And this can create impulsive purchases, convenience dependence, emotional spending, avoidance behavior, and long-term fragility, which means financial stress itself can quietly worsen financial outcomes. Many purchases are not purely functional. They are identity signals. Human beings often spend to communicate status, belonging, aspiration, competence, or self-image. And modern environments amplify this continuously through advertising, social media, lifestyle branding, and comparison systems, which means consumption can become emotionally tied to identity itself. One of the most important concepts in emotional spending is this: the emotional reward is often temporary, but the obligation can remain for months or years. This creates one of the most dangerous asymmetries in personal finance, because short-term emotional relief can quietly create long-term structural rigidity. And eventually, many households become financially constrained by past emotional decisions. The solution to emotional spending is not eliminating emotion. Emotion is part of being human. The goal is awareness, because awareness creates space between emotion and action. And that space allows intentional decision-making. The strongest financial systems are not built by emotionless people. They are built by people who understand their own behavioral systems. The most important insight from this episode is this: cash flow is often emotional. And emotional patterns repeated consistently through time eventually become financial structure, which means understanding personal finance requires understanding human psychology itself. Because eventually feelings shape behavior, behavior shapes systems, and systems shape outcomes. In the next episode, we'll begin exploring behavioral recovery systems: how households can redesign financial environments, reduce behavioral fragility, interrupt destructive loops, and intentionally build resilience over time. Because financial freedom is rarely created through willpower alone. It is usually created through better systems, repeated consistently long enough to compound.